Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Akshay. Afterwards, when we go to get the photographs, take one photograph from this thing, if like this, so that we can compare to others. So just take one, starting in like this, give people one photo, one video from behind the book, so that people get to see the entire event. So many people who don't know come here because they get something. Hare Krishna. So we will be having, first of all, welcome and thank you for coming. We will be discussing today from chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. So I had requested you all to get Gitas. If you have, it will be nice. If you don't have, it's okay. I have the entire purport what I will put up over there, so you can see that also. But if you have, you can always mark it in your own Gitas so that it remains with you. Okay. So how many of you all have Gitas with you right now? With you? Okay, a lot of you. Fine. No problem. Others who have not got, it's fine. I will put it over there. You can put off this pen. ये pen बंद करो. So this is the breakup of chapter 2. The chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is the biggest chapter, one of the biggest chapter. It is having 72 shlokas. Normally a chapter has around 35, 40 shlokas, but chapter 2 is the biggest chapter. And the name of the second chapter is Summary of Bhagavad Gita. So actually Krishna speaks the entire Gita, all the kands, Karma Kand, Gyan Kand, Bhakti, everything in second chapter, but it is summary, just basic. He doesn't go in deep, just to tell Arjun what is going to come ahead of him. So we discussed last time, so this is chapter 2 where Sanjay speaks and tells that Arjuna is crying, he is shivering and he is not able to speak. And then last time we saw 2.7, right? In the last class, you can put that also off. Yeah. Last class we saw Shloka 2.7, which is Karpanya Dosho Prahata Svabhava, where Arjuna is telling Krishna that Krishna, now I cannot do anything on my own. You please become my spiritual master and you guide me. All this time, Arjuna was telling all different explanations to Krishna. Oh, how can we kill them? This will happen. Sins will come onto us. How we can kill them? I don't want this kingdom. So many things is to tell. But in 2.7, he tells Krishna, Krishna, you guide me now. I am not able to do anything on my own. And when Arjuna surrenders to Krishna, that is the time Krishna opens up. Till that time, Krishna is just quiet. He is not saying, he is just listening to Arjun, whatever his points are. He is not saying anything. So 2.7 we saw last time that it is important for us also how to approach a guru. We should have a guru in our life who will introduce us to the spiritual realities and explain to us how we can practice spirituality in our life. So now you can go to 2.8 on your Bhagavad Gitas. Last time we spoke on 2.7. So 2.8 also Arjuna only speaks over here. So 2.8 Arjuna says, I cannot, I can find no means to dry away this grief which is drying my senses. I am not able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in the heaven. So here if you see again, Arjuna is telling the same thing to Krishna that Krishna, even if you give me the entire all the kingdoms and opulence like demigods, still I will not be able to fight and I don't know what to do. The purport of this shloka you can read at home. Okay, this purport speaks about importance of guru and what is a qualification of a guru and what is a qualification of a disciple. Then you can go to 2.9. In 2.9, so Arjuna is finished talking in 2.8 and in 2.9 Sanjaya speaks. Now Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra, he is telling him, Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and sat down. He fell silent. He said, I am not going to fight. The entire Mahabharat war was dependent only on one person, Arjun. The main batsman only saying, I'm not going to play, then, it's like Sachin Tendulkar is not playing. When Sachin Tendulkar is to get out, people is to shut down the TVs and go, ho gaya abhi, aur kya dekhna match. Abhi Arjun is only telling, I'm not going to fight. What will happen? So now, if you see over here, this one very nice, I'll show you the, I have to switch because some of you all don't know guys. Yeah. So if you see 2.9, this purport is very nicely explaining. So here he says 2.9, O Govinda, I shall not fight. Now if you see your Gitas, the shloka in which the Sanjaya tells this to Yudhishthir, he says, Ivam yukta rishikesho gudakesha parantapah. Now rishikesha means Krishna, gudakesha means Arjun. Gudakesha means one who has conquered his sleep. That is Arjun. And then he uses this word called Parantapaha. Parantapaha, the meaning of word Parantapa means one who can conquer his enemies, the chastiser of enemies. Now, why Sanjaya is telling this to Dhritarashtra? He is making him more scared. He is Parantapa. Who is Parantapa? Arjun. That means, as per Sanjay, Arjun has the ability to conquer all his enemies. Who are his enemies? Right now, it is Kauravas. Right? That and still, if you see over here, Prabhupada explains 2.9. If you see to your purport, uh, if you see the purport, the third line, but Sanjaya. Here, if you see, Dhritarashtra was very glad to understand that Arjuna was not going to fight, and he was instead leaving the battlefield for begging profession. Who? Arjun. But Sanjaya disappointed him again in relating that Arjuna was competent to kill his enemies, Parantapaha. Now, if you see over here, Arjuna is been called as Parantapaha means he can single-handedly destroy all his enemies. That means he has the skill to fight, but he is not able to fight. You getting my point? A lot of time we might have the skill to do something, we have the ability to do something, we know the technique how to do it, but we still will not be able to do because we might not have that will or that ability to execute that thing. And that is where he is asking help from Krishna. See, this Bhagavad Gita, you can read it 100 times, and every time you will get a new meaning out of it. Every time, this one word we can speak for 1 hour, right? He had all his skills. Sanjaya sitting in the palace is telling him he can kill all of them. He's Parantapaham. But yet we see over here he is begging to Krishna. He said, I'm not, my Gandiv is falling down. I'm shivering. Tears are coming from my eyes. So a lot of time we also fall in such situations where we know what to do, but we cannot execute it. And that is where we require guidance from scriptures, guidance from Guru, guidance from Sadhu and Shastra. So this is what this small one line teaches us, and that is what Prabhupada writes in the purport. That's why purports are very important. That's why we should read the purport and we should take a pen and mark it. So the next time we come at this section, skill versus will. He had the skill, but he didn't have the will. A lot of time we also fall in such situations, right? So this is a matter of discussion in this purport. Remaining part you can read as homework for this week. So now we come to 2.10. So if you go to 2.10 of Gita, so here uh, Sanjay is saying, O descendant of Bharata, at that time, O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the words to grief-stricken Arjuna. So till 2.10, everyone speaks. And now who is going to speak? So now the actual Bhagavad Gita starts. Actually, Krishna speaks in 2.2 and 2.3 also, but it is little bit. It is just telling him, Baba, don't cry, why you're crying and all that. So now in 2.11, yeah, So now 2.11 Krishna is going to speak. Okay. Now this next slide is the same thing what I had picked up from 3 sessions back. So whenever we come for spiritual programs like this, when we read Bhagavad Gita at home or we hear discourses, we should take something back home. We should take little bit of Krishna along with us back home, and we should leave a little bit of Krishna in our lives. That means in all the discourses, whatever we are going to hear, so now next 40 minutes, we are going to hear so many things from Gita. A lot of it will be new. A lot of it will be a different perspective. So we have to pick up 2, 3 points what I will take along with me. You have to decide. So many things we will discuss. Out of that, 1, 2 things you have to apply in your life. So you have to see what are the things you can apply. Then there is some use of coming for spiritual discourses. Okay. So now we are going to go to the first teaching of Krishna from Gita. I think this the temperature is little cold, right? Which AC you want me to switch off? Baba? Otherwise, you take the flaps on top. Otherwise, make it 26, 26. And this also you make 26, take the flaps on top. It's not come on them. AC burner, sir. That is off already. Where's the fan? हाँ fan चलाओ ये तो burner सर ये ठीक है अब put off this शैलेश ये बंद कर यहाँ से वहाँ जा रहे हो and put on the fan. Okay, so now refer to 2.11. Okay, if you have Gitas with you. Now this is the first time in Bhagavad Gita Krishna is going to give an instruction to Arjun, because Arjun is totally shaken up. And the previous part when Krishna spoke 2.2, 2.3, Arjuna had not asked him, I am your disciple now. But here, just before that, Arjuna is told, I am your disciple, please tell me what I should do. So refer to 2.11. This is what Krishna says. He says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning. Mourning means crying for what which is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither on living nor on dead. This is the first instruction of Krishna, where he says, Asoschan na asoschan stvam prajnavadasa bhasasha gatosan agatosamscha nanusoshanti panditaha. Pandita means a learned person. A learned person will not cry or something which is living or which is dead. So the first word what Krishna says in his instruction is asosthan. So if you refer to your Gitas which you have with you, and if you see the meaning of it, because in the word to word meaning, the meaning of every word is given. The meaning of word asosthan means something here. You can see in your Gitas also, for those who don't have Gitas, Asoshan means not worthy of lamentation. Lamentation means rona. First thing Krishna tells Arjun, don't cry, Baba. Don't cry. See this first word, Asoshan, don't cry. First thing he tells, right? So what's the meaning? So we'll see this later. What are the meaning of this single words? But what is the meaning of overall shloka is, while speaking learned words. Now, if you see the entire first chapter of Gita, Arjuna was telling so many philosophy to Krishna, and Krishna was like listening. Ah, okay, or bol, or bol. He was giving 6 analogies. He gave, I will not fight the war. ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा पाप लग जाएगा पिंडदान कौन करेगा who will protect this who will take care of this everything he was saying. First thing Krishna tells him, you were talking like a big learned man, but you don't know what's the definition of a learned man, right? So here Krishna tells what is the definition of a learned man. So if you refer to your Bhagavad Gita, the purport. See, purports are very important. If you don't read the purports, na, you will not understand what Krishna is trying to tell in the shloka. So, if you see in purport, uh, It's a small purport, but if you refer to page line number 7, as explained in the chapter, it will be clear that knowledge means what? So, one knowledge means to know matter, spirit, and the controller of both. Matter means this external matter. Our body is matter, all these things are matter. Spirit means soul. So, real knowledge means knowledge of matter and spirit and controller of both. Controller of both is who? Lord Krishna. And one, and then he is also giving the definition of a pandita, a learned person. A learned person is one who knows what is body and what is soul and does not lament at any stage of his life. This is a definition of a pandita, learned man. We say we are, if we have so many degrees, I'm learned. If I am at this level of graduation, super graduation, or whatever, I'm learned. But as per Bhagavad Gita, a learned person is one who knows what's the difference between body and soul, and he never laments at any point of life. And we'll say we should not lament, then what we should do, Krishna will tell ahead, right? And this is where Krishna introduces the concept of Atma. And if you remember, in our journey of self discovery, we have done this, we have covered this. We are not this body, we are soul. Okay, so we'll discuss more on this. So, our body, what you see externally, has basically three parts. One is the external body, what we all can see, this external body, which is made of Pancha Mahabhut, air, water, ether, fire. Inside that uh, gross body, there is a subtle body which is made of mind, intelligence, and false ego. So, this is basically our chitta, our mind. And then inside that, there is something called soul. So, soul is Satchidananda. Soul is part of Krishna. External gross body will be finished, but soul will remain forever. And a connection between soul and the gross body is our mind, intelligence, and false ego. So this is what keeps us bound to the body, soul. So that's why they say if we work on our false ego, what Krishna will tell ahead, we will be able to release ourselves from this body, right? And in the same chapter, second chapter only, further, Krishna tells what is the nature of soul. The nature of soul is Sat Chit Ananda, Satchidananda. Sat means eternal. Our soul is eternal. That's why we don't want to die. Why we are scared of death? Because soul is never dying. Soul is always there. And that's why we don't want to die. Sat Chit, it is full of knowledge. That's why we want to gain knowledge. We want to learn things because soul's constitution is it is full of knowledge. And third, Ananda. Soul is always happy, and that's why we want to be happy. Why we want to see so many things to be happy, eat so many things to be happy, hear so many good things about us or someone else to feel happiness? Because our soul by nature is happy, and that's why we are trying to be happy. So that's why they say we are not this body, we are soul. And he said, what is knowledge? Knowledge is something, if you see the definition of knowledge as per Gita, knowledge means to know matter, outside body, spirit, soul, and the controller of both. Controller of both is Krishna as Paramatma. Right? Krishna is as Paramatma in our heart. And he is very close to us, even closer than our own thoughts. That's why they say, even before a thought comes to us, it passes through Krishna first, and Krishna smiles. He never intervenes, huh? He never says, he just smiles. कर क्या करना और ये करेगा वो करेगा करते रुक मैं देख रहा हूँ what can I do? I can't stop you. I can send you a teacher, I can send you a messenger, I can send you a book, but I will never hold your hand and stop you. I will send you everything, but I will not interfere. And we'll see why it happens ahead. So if you see this shloka, Krishna introduces Arjuna to the concept of Atma. He says, you are not this body, Arjuna, you are Atma. And if you remember in our last classes, Arjuna, when he was refuting and he was refusing to fight, one of the arguments he had put was, Papam, we'll get Papa if we kill someone. So that argument of Arjuna, Krishna is telling, you are telling Arjuna that you kill them, you will get sin, but they are soul. You cannot kill them. They are all spirit souls. Where there is a question of killing someone. right? There's no question of someone getting killed. They are spirit soul. So this is why, if you see over here in this shloka, he says, you are lamenting on something which is not worthy of lamenting. You are crying, Arjuna, because they will die. They are spirit soul. They are not going to die. So this is the first instruction he gives him. And the word what you have to remember over here in this is lament. Do not lament. Okay, and we'll see this more. Asochan. See how scientific is Bhagavad Gita. The very first word Krishna is telling, don't cry, Baba, don't cry. Why you're crying? You're accepting me as teacher, right? Don't worry, I'm there. Don't cry. First thing he tells. Okay, now we go to 2.12. If you see 2.12, first instruction Krishna gave that don't lament, this is not worthy of lamentation. The second instruction, you can put on the pen also. Put on the pen. The second instruction, now we go to 2.12. Those of you all who have Gita can refer your Gitas. So here Krishna says, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in future shall any one of us cease to be. So he is telling Arjuna, all these people, all your enemies, so-called enemies, you are scared that you are going to kill them. It was never that they had not existed. They existed forever. And in future also they will exist. That means he is reiterating the same point what he told him in the first shloka. They are never going to die. They are never going to die. So what along with this, what also Krishna tells Arjuna is, you see this line, okay? What you have to mark on your Bhagavad Gita is this line. Uh, there was never a time I did not exist nor you. So you have to mark that on your on the translation of your Gita. I did not exist nor you. And we'll take this line later and we will discuss. So if you see over here, Arjuna had given this explanation that I love them. That's why I don't want to see them die. And I told you all in the last class also, when we were discussing chapter 1, step by step, Krishna will take all the arguments of Arjun, what he did in first chapter, and he is going to finish all his arguments. So this is another argument what Arjun had put, that I love them, so how I can see them die. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that they are eternally existing, they will never die. We sometimes feel, na, Krishna had some agenda and he made Arjuna kill all his own family members. What is this? God had an agenda, that's why he made everyone kill. It is very bad. Sometimes people say that, just want to blaspheme Krishna. But if you see over here, right at start, Krishna is telling, you think you're going to kill them? They are never, no one is killed. They exist eternally. So here, in very simple words, Arjuna, Krishna is telling Arjuna, never was there a time where they did not exist, nor you, nor me, nor, and they will always exist in future also. So we should know that soul is avinashi. We all are not this body. We are, okay, fine, we'll discuss that, how much we know that we are soul. Okay, but soul is avinashi. Just by knowing that, just by knowing that, you put on the AC also, they will feel hot after some time. I understand. So that is material world is like that. Too much of cold, too much of heat, we cannot tolerate. We are like, you keep it on 25, Shailesh, then Suresh. Both the ACs you put on. This also you want? It's not, you people are okay. Okay. So here, if you see what I told you to mark in this purport, in this translation, in this shloka, I told you to mark something, right? I didn't exist. Now, who is that I? Krishna. Nor did you. So Krishna is telling us over here, I am always with you. So this is what Krishna is telling in the second instruction of Gita, that, oh Arjun, I am always with you. And through Arjun, he is telling all of us that I am always with you. It feels good, na? Krishna telling, I am always with you, right? And which shloka of Gita ahead, Arjuna, Krishna tells Arjun, Mataji, you don't tell her now. Okay, where is Krishna in our body? He is in our head. He's in our heart, not inside our heart, next to our heart. So which shloka of Gita Krishna says that? हाँ अभी याद रहेगा सबको ना, लास्ट टाइम भी पूछा था. So 15.15 you can refer also in your Gita. Krishna says riddeshu tishtete arjunam sarvasya chaham ridhi sanavishto mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. I am there, and not inside your heart, in the region of your heart, right? 15.15, it's there, black and white. So I told last time also, wherever we go, Krishna is always accompanying us. We are never alone in any situation of the world, any situation, any scary situation, bad situation, good situation. Krishna is always there with us. We are never alone. Even in the womb, we say mother is my best, mother always take care of me. But mother takes care of me only when I am in the womb, right? But before I am in the womb of the mother, I was somewhere else. Who was with me? कृष्णा. राइट. तो सोचने को गया तो बहुत कुछ है. And it is all there in Srimad Bhagavatam. These are not my explanation. It's all there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam explains in detail how the child is born, even before the child is born, where he is, and who is taking care of him. It's Krishna. It's Krishna. Right? So here Krishna says, I am always with you. So this shloka 2.12, the second instruction of Krishna is that I am with you. And also he is giving one more very very strong instructions, that never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you nor all these kings. Okay, the last line, nor in future shall any one of us cease to be. Now why this is important is, this is where Krishna says that we all will exist forever. We all, souls, souls in human body, animal body, plant body, all the souls will exist forever, and Krishna also will exist. We will never merge in Krishna. And you say, why it is so important? Why Krishna is telling all these things over here? Because there is a set of philosophy who says that, where's that? Yeah. One point of time, we all will become God. Right now, we don't know that we are God. You know, after some time, when our Chetna will get Jagrut, all the doors will open, we will realize we are God, and we'll become one with God. And there are written books also. There are books. There's a book available in Amazon. One with God. You'll become one with God. Right? And they are preaching also. It's happening. There are people who are following. I told you last time. There's one Prabhuji who was chanting the mantra that in Satya Yuga he will be there when Satya Yuga comes. Right? So there are such things, and Krishna knew all this. Bhagavad Gita was spoken at the end of Kali Yuga. Sorry, end of Dwapar Yuga. Kali Yuga was about to start, and Krishna knew all this. You see, black and white Krishna is saying, we, soul and Krishna will always be different. We will never merge. We will never become one. As you go higher, this philosophy is very important to understand. Otherwise, anyone will come, they'll tell you some good stories, Tom Harry stories, and at the end they will say, come, let us all merge and become one with God. Right? Black, red flag. Gadbad hai. We cannot be. Bhagavad Gita 12, 2.12 says you cannot be one with God. That's why Krishna says, your individuality, my individuality will always remain. We will never become one with God. ओके, सबका मालिक एक ऐसा वो मिक्स हो जाएगा, नहीं, कोई मिक्स नहीं होने वाला है. इट विल रिमेन सेपरेट. यू नो व्हाई दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट? Why this is important is because later we feel we are God, and once we become God, I don't require Krishna anymore. So we use God as a ladder. We use Bhagavad Gita as a ladder to reach there, and then we kick the ladder. That mentality comes slowly, slowly later when we grow in spirituality. That's why the start of Gita only Krishna is saying, you cannot be one. We are different. Soul and Krishna are different, and we will keep our individuality, and that is called as Mayavad. So Mayavad philosophy says that everything is one, so we have to be careful from that. This purport you can read, and you will understand more about it what I have said, because this purport itself is of 2 hours if I explain, so you can read this at home. So that is 2.12, the second instruction of Krishna. What is the second instruction of Krishna? What is the second instruction, Prabhuji? कुछ भी रहने दो ना, हमको क्या करना है. First instruction, second. Okay, I'll put everything together. Okay, we'll go to the third instruction and then we will summarize. I know because normally Bhagavad Gita now we take only one sloka because it is too heavy. This is all philosophies. Philosophies are heavy, but if you understand this philosophy, I'll tell you, you will understand the entire Gita, because second chapter is summary of all Gita, full Gita summary, second chapter. So 2.13 is called the one of the key shlokas of Gita. What is a key? Key देखा आपने इतना छोटा सा रहता है, but that छोटा सा key can open a door which can open way to a big castle. You getting my point? So key is small, but that key will open you the doorways for a big castle. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita 700 shlokas, there are 108 key shlokas. They are key shlokas. If you know those shlokas, they are like master key. So one of those key shlokas is 2.13, what we are going to go now. So you can refer your Gita. 2.13 is this. देहिनोऽस्मिं यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्ति धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यते. Krishna says, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes to another body at the time of death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Simple, very easy to understand, correct? What Krishna says, he gives you analogy. A lot of places Krishna gives analogy, he compares with our uh, practical life. So here he says that just like the soul passes from boyhood, when a small child is born, to youth, and from youth to old age, and after old age it goes into another body, right? When the children grow, they look different when they are small, and the same children when they grow they look different, and we say, oh, you look different, but the child will say, oh, I'm the same person. What do you mean say I look different? So that means in this body itself the soul is getting changed from one body to other body. Means of course the body is same, but then we change ourselves. So this is what Krishna says over here, and he is telling this why? Because again Arjuna was telling that I will kill my family members, I don't want to kill them. So here Krishna is saying, where you are going to kill anyone? The soul of all your family members will get into another body. That's it. It's only the change of body. Everything else remains the same. And here he says, a sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So the word that you should remember in this shloka or mark is bewildered. Bewildered means confused. Abuz. हम लोग कभी आबूज हो जाते कि नहीं, क्या करना है पता नहीं, हाँ, एंजाइटी. Krishna tells third instructions, don't be in anxiety, don't be confused. And we'll see these three words, what I told you, in all these three shlokas to mark in one slide. Then you will understand. Bhagavad Gita is like a story. If you read one shloka of Gita, na, just middle, ko samjhega na, why Krishna is saying this. But you should always read two shlokas up, two shlokas down. Then you will understand, oh, Krishna is telling this because of this. It's a story. It's a story which I can practically apply in my life. So later we will see how all these three shlokas are connected. So this is what Krishna tells over here, that just like the soul which goes from one body to other body, the individuality of the soul remains the same. In your Bhagavad Gita, if you have, you can mark in the purport, yeah, in the purport of 2.13, you can mark this line over here. The second paragraph in your purport, any man who has perfect knowledge. What is this 2.13? Yeah, it's not here. I don't have it over here. So you can mark this. I'll read it out for everyone. So in the purport it is written, the second paragraph, any man who has perfect knowledge of the constitution of the individual soul, the super soul, and their natures, both material and spiritual, is called a dhira purush or a sober man. So this here Krishna also gives definition of what is a sober man. A sober man is a dhira purush who understands. So what's the definition? A man who has perfect knowledge of the constitution of individual soul and super soul and nature of both, spiritual and material, is called a dhira purush. Because here if you see in the shloka, dehino smim yata dehe komaram yauvanam jara dhiras, it's not going ahead. Yeah. Kaumaram Yauvanam Jara Tata Dehantara Prapti Dhiras Tatra Na Muhyate. So Krishna is telling who is a Dhir Purush. A Dhir Purush is that person who understands the difference between soul, matter, and doesn't get vigilant based on that condition. So we all have to go towards that thing of becoming Hero Purush, stable. A lot of time we are unstable, right? So Krishna is giving here definition of stability also. So if you see over here, we have discussed three shlokas. Okay. Now what you have to do when you go home is read the purports of all this. I have given you some markings. Now all those markings only we will discuss over here. So these three shlokas what we discussed today. These are the first three instructions of Krishna. Okay. And if you see over here, right in the start of Gita, Krishna is introducing Arjuna to Atma. आत्मा कहाँ से आ गई बीच में? Now you tell me why they all had assembled on the over there in Kurukshetra? क्या करने के लिए आए थे? ऐसे बैठ के मस्त चिल मारने के लिए आए थे, प्रवचन सुनने के लिए आए थे क्या? क्या करने आए थे? Think about it. They came to fight. Arjuna said what? I am not going to fight. He keep his bow arrow, and when he saw all the armies in front of him, he said I am not going to fight. Kept the bow down. If someone who has not read Gita and has this background that oh Gita में ये कृष्णा ये अर्जुन उसका सारथी था and he was not fighting in the first chapter I read and I understood that he is not fighting and now Krishna is going to tell him how to fight and he will expect what in second chapter Krishna will tell him what how to fight what are the strategies you should use you make band like this you should sit like this mantra I'll give you this astra correct or not. I know y'all have not read the entire Gita, but I'll tell you, in entire Gita, Krishna is not telling even one war strategy. Even one war. Nothing is mentioning about war. You getting my point? Think about it. Gita is a big literature. Whole life is not enough to understand Gita. In the entire Gita, Krishna is not telling even one war strategy. How to kill the opponents. Why? Because Arjun knew everything. उसको उसके पास ऐसे ऐसे अस्त्र थे he was single handedly enough to kill everyone but at the time of need he was not able to execute it. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna starts not with war strategies, he starts with this: you are not this body, you are Atma. Suppose there is a अभी एग्जाम चल रही है कि नहीं 10वीं की एग्जाम किसी का नहीं है ना मेरे कोई आया नहीं ना एग्जाम वाला कोई लड़का है नहीं ना अभी एग्जाम का पेपर आ गया और वो पेपर में समझ सब ग्रीक लैटिन ही दिख रहा है कुछ और ही पढ़ा था इधर कुछ और ही आ गया तो टीचर को बुलाया टीचर क्या है टीचर उसको यू आर नॉट दिस बॉडी यू आर आत्मा वो बोलेगा तुम क्या बोल रहे हो यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट यू गेटिंग इट इज टोटली डिफरेंट see why I'm telling you this is it is totally different anyone with common sense will read Gita he says what is this guy talking about here you tell that crying Arjun you tell him how to fight उसको दो तीन अस्त्र दो शस्त्र दो बाबा 4 मार्क्स दो उसको पासिंग मार्क तक लेके आओ वो उसको बोल रहा है तू शरीर नहीं तू आत्मा है ये क्या बात हुई right but this is the opening of entire knowledge which is out of box it's called paradigm shift what is paradigm shift पूरा ऐसा काया पलट उल्टा कर देगा and that is what we should be ready for हमारा भी उल्टा हो जाएगा पूरा thinking when we understand this knowledge. All these three shlokas which we just read and understood it with respect to the war. अभी हमने ये सब war के context से describe किया 5 मिनट के लिए वो he was saying I will not kill them Krishna said why you saying you will not kill them they are always alive they are never going to die they are soul why you saying like this don't lament don't cry so this is with respect to war now what is the meaning of it in our own lives हाउ टू अप्लाई दिस इन माई लाइफ मतलब मेरे को ऑफिस जाना है शाम को घर का काम है बाद में वो बच्चों को ये करो सोने के लिए 6 घंटे मिलते हैं यू आर नॉट दिस बॉडी योर आत्मा मैं क्या करूं उससे करेक्ट ना सिंपल दैट्स व्हाई पीपल डोंट रीड गीता व्हाई दे डोंट रीड गीता दे डोंट गेट सॉल्यूशन फॉर देयर डेली प्रॉब्लम्स all the solutions are in this all the solutions are in this so first thing Krishna tells Arjuna you're not this body you're atma he gives him something called as atma gyan okay now we will discuss this put on the AC it's getting hot and I know we are not this body but we are still in the body so we have to take care of the body also okay um, so so are we this body? Oh, yaar, he was like, Krishna will not watch you, it's okay. So we are not this body, we are soul, right? At least theoretically we should have this knowledge that we are not this body, we are soul. So today for next 10-15 minutes we will discuss only this one concept. If you understand this, you will get a head start. पहले ओवर में ही 10 रन्स आ जाएंगे आगे जाने के लिए गीता में. Okay. सो नाउ वी ऑल हैव हर्ड दिस, वी आर नॉट दिस बॉडी, वी आर सोल. और कोई भी ऐसा बोलता है तो हम मन में ऐसे नींद आ जाते हैं, हाँ ओके ठीक है आगे बोलो समझ में आया तो, राइट. नाउ लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम आवर प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल. ओके. नाउ टेल मी, if I take name of any one good friend of yours, we have 200, 150 of yours sitting over here. If I take a name of any one good friend of yours, what will come in your mind first? Okay. Whether a good feeling of experience about him will come first, or a good memory what you had with him in past, or an interaction with him in the past will come to your mind first, or his face or physical appearance will come first in your mind. क्या आएगा पहिली कितें आमकां लक्षांत येतलें ताजें नांव घेतलें जाल्यार? Face and appearance means you had a scary experience, right? So think about it. If I take your grandmother, if I tell you, tell me something about your grandmother, will you remember the love and the warmth what she had, or will you remember her wrinkled face? Will you remember good time you spent with her? First thing which will come to your mind. You have a boss. If I take the name of your boss, what will come to your mind? Ah, वो तो यार चिल्लाते रहेगा. Or it can be, oh, what a great guy. I like to be with him. Then you'll remember his face or his name. Correct? So first, when I take someone's name, I first thing comes to our mind is the memories what we had with him. How he made you feel when you were with him or her. And those memories go deep in our heart, and next time when we remember their names, first that comes simple. फोन बजता है, आपका नाम आता है वहां पे, सो एंड सो, उसका फेस याद आता है कि ऐसे याद है, छोड़ो उसका फोन ही नहीं लेना है. क्यों? क्यों नहीं लेना है? बैड मेमोरीज. या फिर किसी का फोन आया, आई मीन मिडल ऑफ द लेक्चर ऑल्सो आई टेक द कॉल. व्हाई? गुड मेमोरीज. So if I take someone's name, think about it. You will remember his good memories first rather than his face. You will not remember, oh उसके बाल ना कर्ली है, उसका नाक थोड़ा ऐसा टेढ़ा है. You will not remember that. वो चश्मा पहनता है. That is second thought which will come to your mind. First is my grandmother, my son. Where is your son now? Oh, he'll be there. You will not remember his face immediately. First, you will remember my son. All my attachment that will come to your mind first. Try it. Try it. आज रात को 3 लोगों का. Okay, I tell you, remember the 3 best people in your life. They might not be good looking. They might not be tall and handsome. They might not be the richest people or the most influential people. But they'll be those people who made you feel good in your life. So when we remember someone or some name comes to our mind or someone takes the name, first thing what comes to our mind is the experience what we had with him. Then their physical appearance, right? And that is why you see, yeah. So what we really remember is the consciousness of that person, and not just his physical body. The first thing, of course, we also remember the first thing. A second, third thing can be the physical body or how he looks. But first thing is experience. Yes, I feel good. And when you say that I feel good, then you are going to talk to him or have an association with. Or if your first thought is, oh, I don't feel good to talk to him. My past experience was bad. Finish. You will not even try to remember his face. Right? So here all these attributes, kindness or anger or humor or love or strictness, like you remember your teacher. If I meet my old friends and he reminds me of so and so teacher's name, I will remember how kind she was or how strict she was. That is the first thing which will come to my mind. I will probably second or third thought will be how she looks. How was her face? She was wearing specs or she was having a stick or what it is. So first thing is always the consciousness or the experience what we had with that person. So now you think all these attributes, kindness, anger, humor, jealousy, shame, all these things are qualities of consciousness of a person. And it is that's why Bhagavad Gita says we are not body, but we are consciousness. We are consciousness, right? One more example. Now, the same thing is applicable for us also. If you understand this, you will be a little more happy in your life. Okay. So when someone sees us, what he sees first, definitely our body, right? And we also are very conscious of our body, right? But a person will remember for a long time not our body, but our behavior, how I behaved with him, what was my dealing with him. He will not remember what type of clothes I was wearing, whether I was wearing a Rolex watch or I came in which car. That might be just for some time. So if you see, read that line below, beauty attracts the eyes for a few minutes, but character attracts the heart for a lifetime. Correct or not? Simple, na? How someone made you feel, or rather the other way around, how I am making feel someone else. Even though I might not have the best physical abilities and appearances, what is more important is all these other things. That's why it's like an iceberg. Iceberg रहता है ना, छोटा सा दिखता है ऊपर, सबसे बड़ा पार्ट नीचे रहता है उसका. तो physically outward is how we look, how tall I am, how I can speak, how much salary I earn. These are outward things. What is most important thing is this downward things. What is my habits? What is my character? What are my ethics? What are my value system? How I treat someone else? That is what people remember, and that is what impressions we put in someone else's minds. Simple. You getting my point? When Krishna says that we are not this body but soul, forget soul, we are not this body but consciousness, that's the meaning of it on practical language. And it is very applicable and helpful to us in our practical life. A lot of time we are insecure about our physical appearance. Oh, I have this limitation, I cannot do this, or probably he will not, they will not take me in their group because I'm not fitting physically. It's never about physics. It's never. Initially it will be, but people what remember for lifetime is how you behaved with them. And this is what exactly Bhagavad Gita is teaching. We are not this body. Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, you are acting on bodily platform. You are saying, my people, Swajana, Swajana, my people, I cannot kill them. You are acting on bodily platform. You are not this body only, first of all. So that's why it is said, if we understand this, understand that we are not this body, but the soul, it changes entire way how we see our life. Then instead of worrying too much about appearances, how I look, how I'm getting old, my skin is getting wrinkled, oh, I don't know to speak this, I don't know what I will do there. Instead of that, I focus more on improving my behavior, my habits, my consciousness, my value system. What are my values? How I'm going to act in a given situation? And that is what people will remember. Of course, it is not for making people remember, it is for contributing my bit. It is for showing the world, giving the world back what I am. This is the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is teaching us through Arjun. We are not standing in a battlefield with arrows. We are not like Arjun, but we are having situations similar to Arjun. And here he says, because that is what people actually experience. They experience our behavior, character. So the real self development means developing these qualities of soul. Because consciousness is a symptom of soul, Sat Chit Anand. And now you can connect it to soul. You getting my point? Because for so many years and so many lifetimes, we are connected to this body, our consciousness has become like that. It has become Jada Vidya. We are so conscious of our body and the body of our Savajana. That's why we are not able to experience the soul. That's why we are not able to experience this value system, consciousness. Value system is only earning money. Value system is only my value, my opinions. I and my family. I am secured. I am done now. अभी एलपीजी का बहुत गड़बड़ हो रहा है. घर में सिलेंडर है ना दो, बस हो गया. Correct कि नहीं? Simple है. We are tested so much. Material world will put so much stress and check our value system at every time. It is not easy. We'll check our value system at every time. And this is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. He is telling, Baba, you're not this body. Okay? Don't be like a coward. Run away from here. Your value system, your whole world is watching your value system. सबको उम्मीद है तेरे से. Because you are going to save the war. You're getting my point? This is how it is connected towards our soul. Soul becomes sometimes difficult to realize. Come one step above consciousness. Sometimes consciousness also difficult. One step above value system. Simple. What are my value system? Simple values of honesty, simple values of simplicity, simple values of being not judgmental, not judging others. Simple value system, not very high values we should not have. Value system are connected to consciousness, consciousness is connected to soul. People will remember you, you will keep an impression on people's mind in the world by the value system. And this is what Krishna is telling in the very first instruction. You are not this body. Don't be too conscious of your body. Who cares about your body? And who cares, right? You've seen uh, which is that award? Golden Globe Awards, ऑस्कर अवार्ड्स देखे आप लोगों ने? एक बार देखना, यूट्यूब पे है. ऑस्कर अवार्ड्स लेने के लिए आते हैं ना वो लोग. ऑफकोर्स ऑस्कर अवार्ड्स तो सबसे अच्छा है उनको मिलता है. वो जो ऑडियंस में बैठे रहते हैं ना, ओल्ड हीरोइंस लंदन अमेरिका की, उनको देखो. Their skins are wrinkled and they are like eyes have gone inside, but they have put so much paint and so much polish and thapi they have put, and they have come like this. They are sitting. Why? Bodily conscious. Bodily conscious. They'll be heroines of our childhood, but still they want to look the same. They don't want to accept the fact that body is deteriorating every moment. How are you going to save it? How are you going to save it? That's why our Varnashra Dharma was what? First 25 years Brahmacharya. Second 25 years Grahastha. Next 25 years from 50 to 75 Vanaprastha. By 50 you're Vanaprastha. So by 40, 45, you're planning for the next 5 years. You're no more than going in the mirror. Oh, this wrinkle, oh, Botox I'll put some paint. I'm going to take Vanaprastha. Yaar, who cares of my body? You see how perfect the system was? There was no anxiety for the body. Now there is more anxiety for body than for actual value system. You see how perfect the system was. But because we are so bodily conscious for so many lifetimes, we are always in that anxiety, depression. Oh, I'm not looking good. Oh, who cares about you? Krishna. Anyways, world is not going to care about you. World is going to care about your value system. How you make other person feel. What is that you're going to contribute to the society? That is what you're going to be valued for. And that same instruction Krishna is giving over here. So if you actually read Bhagavad Gita properly and connect it to your surrounding, you can see it happening. We can see, we all are following Americans and Europeans, right? This is what they are doing over there. 40 60 70 साल वाले भी एकदम पूरा ऐसे बन के आते हैं. एक ही रात के लिए होता है वो, बाद में इंजेक्शन चला जाता है दूसरा दिन, फिर वो लोग छुप जाते हैं, फिर दूसरा हॉस्पिटल बाहर आते हैं. That's what they are doing, right? And we are following them. We want to be like them only. Frustration. Krishna is telling 5,000 years back. Krishna said, "You're not this body, your soul. What you're running behind." Right? So Gita is very practical. When people say, "Oh, it's not practical," sometimes in my office they say, "I read Gita, but it is not practical. Yeah, you cannot apply it in office. You can apply it very well in office. This is made only for office only." All your office politics, everything you can take care only by Gita if you know it properly. Right? So the first instruction of Gita, Krishna says, "You're not this body," and that's why the practical application is this. So when we act on the level of soul, we act on the level of thoughts, emotions, habit, character, and finally developing that devotion, because soul's nature is to be devoted to God. And that is what Krishna will take Arjuna slowly towards that. So he starts with this, you are not this body, your soul. Have you samjha why Krishna is saying this? So there is this 11, 12, 13, Krishna speaks about Atma Gyan. Krishna starts with the Atma Gyan. And that's why it is called as a paradigm shift. He shifts his mentality. अभी आप देखो लास्ट 5 मिनट में जो डिस्कशन हमने किया, अभी समझ में आ गया ना? अभी अर्जुन पूरा भूल गया वो उसने फर्स्ट चैप्टर में क्या बोला था. वो जैप हो गया एकदम. कृष्ण ने पूरा, वो टीचर है वो जो बच्चे को बोलते हैं बेटा पेपर दूसरा आया था, तू बॉडी नहीं है तू सोल है. बच्चा भूल ही गया अभी पेपर क्या है. हाँ मैं सोल हूँ. वैसा ही घर आने वाला है मैं सोल है बोल के राइट दैट्स कॉल्ड पैराडाइम शिफ्ट इट वाज रिक्वायर्ड बिकॉज ही वाज क्राइंग ही वाज सेइंग नो मुझे जंगल में जाना है छोड़ देना है सब कुछ तू ही देख तेरा वॉर एक 3 श्लोका में कृष्णा ने पूरा अर्जुन को घुमा दिया इट्स कॉल्ड पैराडाइम शिफ्ट एंड वी आल्सो हैव टू थिंक अबाउट इट दैट्स व्हाई आई टोल्ड यू इन द स्टार्ट पिक 3 lessons pick 3 things what you are going to take from here otherwise it is not going otherwise it's going to be nice entertainment spiritual entertainment we have अभी शिमगोत्सव है वो भी वैसा भी एक और एक उत्सव होगा entertainment it should not be entertainment it should be transformation this should be transformation right so when you read Bhagavad Gita next time you should know this is a scientific book ये ऐसा ही कुछ फिलोसफी नहीं है किसी ने बैठ के लिखा नहीं है ये बहुत बड़ा चीज़ है we are very very fortunate to have a scripture like Bhagavad Gita. Krishna gave it himself to us, not written by someone else. Right? So, summarizing this, what we read in 2.11, you can just tell me one word you can remember. 2.11 is the first instruction of Krishna. What is that? Huh? Ah, thank you. Thank you. You are all very much awake. I was able to keep you all awake. Okay, I was not able to. Bhagavad Gita was able to keep you all awake. So 2.11. So I'll summarize now. All three put in one slide. Okay. Now you'll understand the story. You're waiting for the story. चाहिए ना हमको नया picture. Durandar 2, Durandar 4. ये Durandar Infinity है. Okay. I'll show you. You just see what is Bhagavad Gita. आपको you will be like goosebump आ जाएंगे. So here Krishna says in this entire translation what is important? Which word? Lament. Okay. So Krishna says in first shloka to Arjuna, do not lament. Kyunki he was crying, he was saying, I'll run. First thing is you have to, console him, Baba. Don't worry, don't cry. Second shloka, Krishna says what? Ah, so never there was a time when I did not exist nor you. So here the word to remember is I existed with you. So here Krishna is telling I am with you. First is saying Romat. Second, I am with you. Third shloka 2.13, which is the word to remember? Bewildered. The meaning of word bewilder is do not get confused or in simple word do not worry. हमने एक लेक्चर ही दिया था ना लास्ट टाइम डोंट वरी स्टार्ट लिविंग कुछ तो ये देखो भगवत गीता में कृष्णा ने थर्ड श्लोका में ही बोला है बाबा डोंट वरी वाई वरिंग वो रो रहा है वो बोल रहा है मैं भाग रहा हूँ मुझे जरा खड़ा ही नहीं रहना है he is capable of killing everyone but he is not able to do it because of his so many other mental anxieties and so many things Krishna is telling him don't lament sorry don't lament yeah I am with you don't worry simple you see the story line story है कि नहीं भगवान ये बोल रहे हैं अभी 1 घंटे हमने यही डिस्कस किया डू नॉट लेमेंट डू नॉट वरी आई एम विथ यू एक होप आता है कि नहीं ये सुना तो और ये कृष्ण बोल रहे हैं कृष्ण विल नेवर टर्न बैक ऑन हिज वर्ड्स अर्जुन को जिताना है बोले तो जिताना है उसके लिए कुछ भी करने के लिए रेडी है वो राइट दिस आर द वर्ड्स ऑफ कृष्णा नाउ आई वांट यू ऑल टू अ लिटिल बिट थोड़ा सा ध्यान देना इधर ओके बिकॉज दिस इज लाइक मोर डेप्थ ऑफ भगवद गीता ओके द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड so what Krishna is telling, I'll send you the slides, okay? You can take photograph if you want, but later I will send you the slides also. So what Krishna is telling 2.11, what is the word? Lament, okay? ये lament word का मतलब क्या होता है पता है? Don't cry, don't be upset, don't be disturbed, don't be shocked, don't be nervous, don't be depressed. From simple crying से लेके it goes up till depressed. How many times, at least I go through so many of these things. These words stick to the emotions of these things. Don't cry. Crying is just not cry out of pain. Crying is also cribbing. Cribbing means कुछ लोगों को सिर्फ रोने का आदत रहता है ना सब है बट रो रहा सब है बट ये नहीं है कुछ लोग ऐसे क्राइंग बॉक्स बोले तो उसका नाम लिया तो बोला मैं नहीं जाना है रोता रहता है वो आदमी हमेशा ऑलवेज क्राइंग ये सब है बट ये नहीं है सिलेंडर खत्म दो ही सिलेंडर है और एक चाहिए था क्यों रोना है भगवान बोलते हैं बाबा डोंट लेमेंट यू सी आवर एंसेस्टर्स दे वर हैप्पी यार कुछ नहीं था घर में कल का खाना कहाँ से आने वाला पता नहीं था दे वर ऑलवेज हैप्पी दे फॉलोड भगवद गीता दे यूज्ड टू नेवर क्राई दैट्स व्हाई दे वर हैप्पी राइट सो लेमेंट इज ऑल दिस इमोशंस we go through all these emotions second 2.13 1 2 बाद में जाएंगे. 13 में क्या बोला भगवान ने? डू नॉट बी बिविल्डर. बिविल्डर का मीनिंग ये होता है, डू नॉट बी कंफ्यूज, डू नॉट वरी, डू नॉट बी टेंस, डू नॉट गेट बर्न आउट, डू नॉट गेट एंग्री. बिविल्डर का मीनिंग. और डोंट बी इन एंजाइटी. सिंपल. And 100 times in a day we go through these things in our dreams also. ड्रीम्स में ऐसा खुश होते हैं कि हम लोग क्या ट्रेन छूट रही है, बस छूट गया, और कुछ हो गया, और कुछ डिफरेंट ही आ गया कहीं पे, ऐसा ही आता है ना. ऐसे ही आता है ड्रीम्स हमको. गैस पे कुछ था, वो ऐसा ये हो रहा है, वही है हमारा ड्रीम. जैसा दिन वैसा रात, कोई डिफरेंट नहीं है. और ये भगवान ने 5000 साल पहले बोला है. यहाँ पे देखो, पहला चीज बोला ये मत करो. टू डू, हमको इंजीनियरिंग में एक चीज वो लोग सिखाते थे, बिफोर यू स्टार्ट द मशीन नो हाउ टू स्टॉप इट. नहीं तो चालू किया वो उड़ जाएगा. सो बिफोर यू वांट टू डू समथिंग यू शुड नो व्हाट नॉट टू डू. अर्जुन को कृष्ण बोल रहे भगवान, ये बाबा डोंट क्राई, डोंट लेमिट, मैं हूं ना, करता हूं कुछ, बट तू रो मत, रोना मत कर. रोना मीन्स नॉट जस्ट क्राइंग थ्रू टीयर्स, ऑल दिस थिंग्स. So we also should be taking this lead from Krishna and should not be doing. Now एक word आप लोगों ने मिस किया, मैंने मिस किया वो, I was not able to tell you. In I think it is 2.12. He says, do not lament, bewilder, for what? For the changes that will come in your life. And Krishna says this word, okay? He says this word change. It's there. Just to show you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 2.13. You see over here, a sober person is not bewildered by such a. हर एक के जिंदगी में चेंज आता है कि नहीं? रोज आता है चेंज. सुबह, रोज सुबह 10 मिनट में ऑफिस पहुंचना है, कुछ तो ट्रैफिक आ जाता है, 12 मिनट में पहुंच जाता है, पंचिंग लेट. चेंज हुआ कि नहीं? सिंपल लॉजिक. चेंज इज नॉट सम बिग चेंज. ईरान का वॉर बड़ा चेंज नहीं है, छोटा छोटा चेंजेस आता है. और हम लोग क्या होते हैं? नाउ यू विद दिस यू सी दिस श्लोका. Do not get all these things for the changes that comes in your life, right? So even for some small thing, ऑफिस को जाने को लेट हो गया, डब्बा लेट हो रहा है, डब्बा पैक नहीं हो रहा है, शांत, जाके हेल्प करो. तुमको हेल्प नहीं करना है, सिर्फ चिल्लाना है, डब्बा लाओ जल्दी से. कैसे होगा? राइट? सोबर, शांत, ठंड रहो मत सो. कृष्णा इज टेलिंग दिस. सिंपल है कि नहीं इंस्ट्रक्शन? कौन बोलता है भगवद गीता डिफिकल्ट है? लोग बोलते भगवद गीता बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, समझ में नहीं आता है, 2 बार पढ़ा मैंने, क्या पढ़ा पता नहीं. देखो सिंपल है ना. मैंने कहा से और कुछ पढ़ा क्या? भगवान ने जो बोला है वही वर्ड्स हमने देखे यहाँ पे. लेमेंट मत करो, भगवान ने बोला वही है. आप इस्कॉन का गीता नहीं, गूगल पे भी डालोगे तो यही आएगा. चेंज, लेमेंट, bewilder, first 3 shlokas, this is what he is telling. I will just put it over here. Okay, for any changes that come in our life, don't lament nor be bewildered, don't worry. So basically he's saying don't cry and don't worry. Why? Because I am always with you. I am always with you. So simple, so simple. It cannot be more simpler than this, the message of Gita, right? So first thing he is telling us, sthir, be stable in life. Don't get bothered by small things which will happen. We should not be bothered by small things. Be shant, take a deep breath, see what I can do for it. And that is what he will tell later, right? So now here Krishna is saying what? I am always with you. Okay, ये तो हमने अभी देख लिया, lament, bewilder, रोना, burnt out, anxiety, depression, change. बट ये क्या बात हुई यार? कृष्णा बोल रहा है आई एम विथ यू, आप बोल रहे हैं 15.15 में इधर है, पर अभी इधर है कैसा? ऑपरेशन करके देखना है क्या? कैसा मालूम पड़ेगा भगवान हमारे साथ है, राइट? सो हाउ डू आई सी कृष्णा in my daily life? We all want to see Krishna, not see, at least feel Krishna, have an acknowledgement. या वो सच में है, ऐसा ही भगवान भगवद गीता में बोला नहीं है, बट सच में है, right? So here Krishna says in the 9th chapter this. So whole Gita, as I said, it's a story, all the shlokas are connected. Krishna says, if you remember me, I am with you. Simple. Or you are with me. That's why we give so much focus on remembering Krishna always. All the Vedas, all the scriptures, the conclusion is one. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna in any circumstances. I told you now, any circumstance we go, we are never alone. कितना भी गड़बड़ वाला सिचुएशन, हम नहीं किया वो गड़बड़, हम ही करते गड़बड़, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है गड़बड़. कितना भी सिचुएशन हो रहे तो कृष्णा है हमारे साथ. कृष्णा है, वो देख रहे हो, 2 झापड़ भी मारेंगे कभी कभी बीच में सही करने के लिए, बट वी आर नेवर अलोन. We should never feel that we are alone. And how to see Krishna, how to experience Krishna, first is remembering Krishna. अभी कृष्णा का रिमेम्बरेंस ऐसा ही नहीं आएगा. हम लोग रात को सोते हैं तो सपने में कृष्णा आते हैं कि नहीं है? किसके सपने में कृष्णा आते हैं रात को? आएंगे ही नहीं. सपने में क्या आएगा? वो 1970 80 का एक सॉन्ग आएगा कुछ तो ऐसा, वही सब आएगा. क्यों? हमने वो कनेक्शन बनाया ही नहीं ना, कृष्णा के साथ कनेक्शन बनाया ही नहीं. सो चैंटिंग जपा इज व्हाट? Chanting japa is a way to connect to Krishna, right? You think what dreams we get in our night, whenever we sleep. All those dreams, if you sit and think, those are those things when we are awake has gone deep in our heart. And that only comes in a subconscious mind. So what is sadhana? What is that we are doing now? Satsang, sadhana is a way to remove those Bollywood songs out and put Krishna, so that in my dreams also I get Krishna. That is perfect stage of life. And that's why it's called sadhana. That's why we should chant. That's why when we are chanting, no distraction. मैच देखते हैं तो डिस्ट्रैक्शन होता है क्या? मैच देखते हो, एक लास्ट बॉल में 6 रन मारना है, वो खेल रहा है, तुम इधर और इससे बात कर रहे हो, बात साहब ऐसा उधर टीवी में घुस जाते हैं अंदर, बस घुसना ही बाकी रहता है. क्यों? यू आर टोटली एनग्रॉस्ड. जपा करते हो वैसे होता है क्या? अरे कृष्णा कभी खत्म होगा, खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा, कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा, हरे राम राम कृष्णा राम 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 राम, हो गया 16 माला डन. इसको टांग देते वहां पे, दूसरा दिन ही हाथ लगाएंगे, बीच में नहीं, अभी 16 17 माला करना ही नहीं है, 17वां. No, that's a fact, and it is with everyone. This way, everyone. Why that absorption is not there? That absorption of that cricket match or that movie or something, what's happening in news, that absorption is not there. And that's why हमारे सपने में वही आता है. और वो भी उल्टा होके आता है, कुछ बस टूट रही है या फिर और कुछ गड़बड़ी आते हैं, क्योंकि उसके साथ हमारा गड़बड़ मिक्स होता है ना पूरा सब. वो पूरा भेलपुरी बन के कुछ और ही आ जाते हैं. Right? So slowly, our consciousness should be tuning to Krishna. That's why it's called Krishna consciousness. And that is what Krishna says in the 9th chapter, 15th chapter, and at the end of Bhagavad Gita. Slowly, Krishna is, he's like a perfect teacher. He'll not immediately tell. He'll slowly take you. You are not this body, you are the soul. You should be working at the soul level, consciousness level, values level. Do this, don't do this, sit like this. Slowly, the entire Gita is like that. It's a slowly Krishna will take you to the conclusion of always remember me and never forget me. So simple. If you actually read Krishna Bhagavad Gita with lot of bhavartha, Bhagavad Gita will speak back to you. It will speak back to you. It will tell you, my God, अरे last time मैंने पढ़ा था ये तो कुछ और ही दिख रहा है मुझे अभी. It will speak back to you. Right? So the first way to see Krishna is by remembering Krishna. The second way is this. Prabhupada writes in one of the letters what he wrote. Lot of preaching Prabhupada did is only through letters, because that time email नहीं थे, WhatsApp नहीं था, कुछ भी नहीं था. 1972 का letter है. He used to write letters because all his disciples were across the world. He wrote in Los Angeles. He said, Krishna is within your heart. He is writing to one of his disciples. If you kindly continue to hear about him as you are doing, then Krishna will be very pleased and Krishna will say, oh, this person is interested in me. Because nobody is interested in Krishna, so Krishna is also silent to them. But as soon as you become interested, oh, Krishna becomes very active and he says, oh, he is trying to do something, I shall help him. Krishna is there in our heart. But because we are not looking at Krishna, Krishna is also sitting quietly. He is not, he is not going to be like that. He'll keep quiet. He'll wait. But moment we show some interest to Krishna, how? By hearing about him, by hearing Krishna Katha, what we are doing right now, he'll say, oh, रोज सुनता है यार मेरे बारे में, देखते हैं उसका क्या प्रॉब्लम है, चलो देखते हैं उसके प्रारब्ध में कितना है थोड़ा कम करते हैं. When we become devotees, रिएक्शन आता है. ऐसा नहीं कि डिवोटी बनने का सब परफेक्ट होता है, और गड़बड़ होता है, बट गड़बड़ थोड़ा कम होता है. ब्रह्मा जी ऑल्सो सेज इन हिज प्रेयर, lot of more problems would have come, but oh Krishna, you have reduced it. We'll see it in the next shloka because that is very much connected over there. Right? So this is a second way to see Krishna in our life. How? By hearing about him. And third way, and one of the practical ways, of course, hearing and chanting is also practical. The third way is thanking Krishna. One very simple habit what we have to do is just before we go to sleep, don't see the phone, keep the phone away. I was just hearing one very, this one TEDx talk. They said that when you see your phone for 5 minutes, it takes you 23 minutes to settle down. If you see your phone for 5 minutes and keep it aside, it takes you 23 minutes for your mind to calm down and focus on what you're doing. Our children take breaks and they say, Papa, 5 minutes I'll watch it. 23, the next 23 minutes, their mind is unsettled. Nothing will go inside. Same for us. Okay. So when you are about to sleep, that just before you, even when you're lying down on your bed, if possible, you should have this habit. Today's day, where Krishna helped me, thank you, Krishna. Not just thank you, Krishna. It's not. It's a very universal thing. Thank you, Krishna. Where he helped me. Shimotsa was there. All the roads were full. I was thinking today I'll go for the class. Where I will park my car? And exactly at that moment, someone removed the car and I got the slot. I put it over. It can be as simple as that. It can be as simple. It need not be something great. It can be as simple as that. Anything in your life, and I'm very sure there'll be at least one thing in your day, in your every day, one thing in your day, Krishna must have definitely helped. It can be as simple as this. It can be as simple. There was no traffic today, Krishna. I was already late. डब्बा लेट हो गया था. ट्रैफिक नहीं था. कैसे पता नहीं. आज तो एकदम पहुंच गया टाइम पे मैं. As simple as that. Some days you will struggle. आज क्या thank करूं? कुछ हुआ ही नहीं. Think hard. Think hard. Think for Krishna. What you're going to thank Krishna for? Of course, even every breath what I take, Krishna only allows. Krishna gives sanctions. I am able to breathe. So we have to have this habit. So many things I told you. Water the tulsi, chant. This also you have to add. When you do this, you will see presence of Krishna more in your life. It will increase, and you will be peaceful. Then you're done everything. Then you're done. You have thanked the Supreme Creator. You're done your part. Go to sleep. Next morning he'll wake you up. Right? One time I was about to give one class in the morning, just last month. And the previous night we had gone to some devotee's house and it was very late. When we go to devotee's house, it becomes late. We came back home at 11:30. We slept at I think 12:30. And then next day morning, 5 o'clock, we were supposed to get up and there was a class I have to give online, Zoom ke upar. We put alarms, everything, but body was so tired. There was already 2-3 days का backlog था. अलार्म सुना ही नहीं. कभी कभी सुना ही नहीं देता ना अलार्म. अलार्म सुना ही नहीं. और अलार्म आई न्यू दैट आई एम टायर्ड और मैंने 15-15 मिनट के अलार्म्स लगाए थे. 4:30 बजे, 4:45 बजे, 5 बजे. एक सुना नहीं तो दूसरा किधर तो होगा. अलार्म्स बजे. आई डिडंट हुआ गया ही नहीं. माय वाइफ आल्सो शी डिडंट हियर. कैसे तो 5:30 my eyes opened. And I first thing is that I saw the phone. 5:30 and alarms check किया. अलार्म क्यों नहीं बजे? अलार्म तो बजे सब. मैंने सुना ही नहीं. I got up, took bath, somehow put tilak and I went there and I sat and just on time to give the class. I gave class, I had prepared. Class हो गया ठीक से. Later I was really thinking who woke me up at 5:30. I slept at 12:30. I slept at 12:30. Alarm didn't ring. Alarm didn't ring. I was checking. Alarm. Who woke me up? I just woke up. Normally 5 hours is very less sleep. If you have a backlog already to take care of. I am sure in your lives also, not lives is a big thing. Your days, you will have experiences. Connect to Krishna. Thank Krishna. Take 1 second before you sleep. Oh, thank you, Krishna. Don't tell the whole world. Don't even tell your husband or wife. Keep it to yourself. You can tell if you want, but it's your personal memories. Sleep. You will see Krishna more in your life if you do this. Simple. And then your sadhana also will be better because you're connecting to Krishna. Then it will be like those old Bollywood songs which have gone deep inside our head. Slowly, we are putting Krishna. Right? So when we do this, we will see Krishna more in our life. And this thing, what Krishna says, will be more evident for us. So this is the summary of 2.11 and 2.13, where Krishna says what? Do not bewilder. Do not lament, do not bewilder. By what? The changes what will happen in your life. So many changes will come. शादी हो जाते, चेंज हो जाता, नया बॉस है, सब चेंज, बच्चे हो जाते, चेंज हो जाते, oh, इतने बड़े चेंज, छोटे छोटे चेंज, सब चेंज भरा पड़ा है. Because I am always with you. Now you will question, okay, fine. अभी ये समझ में आ गया. You are with me. Don't lament. Don't worry. क्या करना है फिर? सही है ना? अभी लेट हो रहा है ऑफिस को जाने के लिए, डब्बा अभी तक बना नहीं है. क्या करूं? कुछ बोलना भी नहीं, कुछ कहा भी ना रह जाए, चुप रहा भी ना जाए, क्या करूं? That is what Krishna will tell in 2.14 and 16, or 2.14 and 2.16, 14 to 16. It's a story. मूवी का स्टोरी चल रहा है इधर. अभी ये पार्ट 1 हो गया. पार्ट 1 कृष्णा बोला चुप बैठ, शांत रुक, मैं हूं ना तेरे साथ, तुम हो, अभी क्या करूं मैं? वो कृष्णा आगे बोलेंगे. एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी विल सी नेक्स्ट टाइम. थैंक यू वेरी मच. हरे कृष्णा. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय.